Hello, everyone. Happy Wellness Wednesday. My name is Katrina Potter, and today we're going to talk about pregnancy and postpartum. I'm coming to you today with some ideas and things that you can implement if you are expecting or you know someone that is, maybe some ideas of things that you can put together for a gift basket. But I'm excited to share this topic with you. Fortunately, for my own wellness journey, I was introduced to doTERRA and all things health and wellness prior to having both of my children. And so I was able to implement some of these things into my own wellness routines while I was pregnant. And so I'm excited to share my own experiences and some things that you can add in or your friend can add in. So I have just some little notes that I'm going to kind of slide through, but I wanted to just start with a couple of logistical things. If you're watching this live, we are in the month of April. So for the remainder of April, we have a little Mother's Day gift basket bundle being raffled off. You can find the raffle information in the Life Fuel Community Education Facebook group if you're a part of that, or on my personal Facebook page. But in order to be entered into the raffle, it includes a diffuser, MetaPower Advantage, the collagen and the NMN supplement. And then it also includes some essential oils. It's about a $340 value. So if you want to be entered into that raffle, feel free. In order to do that, you just need to Venmo me at Your Life Fuel and put in the descriptions raffle. The tickets are $10 for one ticket or $20 for 4 tickets. And you can get entered in that for either a Mother's Day gift for yourself or a mother in your world. So let's dive in. We're going to talk a little bit about creating the foundation when it comes to pregnancy first. This is one of those things I know for myself, really struggling with making sure in those beginning stages of pregnancy that I was getting the adequate nutrition. As you know, oftentimes there's that nausea and things going on. So the first thing to creating a healthy foundation is the Lifelong Vitality supplement pack. Those are an adequate source while pregnant. If you want, you can take an additional folic acid or methylated folate. But that is just a great foundation of things, as well as now there is the MetaPower collagen, which is great addition in. And a friend of mine actually said that as she integrated in the collagen, it subsided some of that upset stomach in the beginning of the day or throughout the day. So that's cool. So creating that healthy foundation, the Lifelong Vitality Pack, adding in the collagen, a couple of other things that I found to be really helpful. So for me in the beginning, there was a lot of that upset stomach feeling. And so the Terrazyme digestive enzyme was really a helpful resource. And I just kept it right on my nightstand. And before I even got out of bed, I would take a couple of the Terrazyme and just help out with that upset stomach. So Terrazyme is another great addition if you're struggling with that nausea aspect. And then a probiotic. So PB Assist is a great probiotic, making sure you and the baby are getting that good bacteria to support the digestive system. So adding that in as well. There is also the phytoestrogen supplement. I really found that to be helpful in that postpartum phase, just with helping my hormones to stay calibrated or recalibrated rather. And then the bone nutrient, just to help the baby's bones developing, your own bones developing. So that is something to add in on that. Now, keep in mind too, with the foods that we're eating, what they're suggesting now is the baby, all of those nutrients goes through the umbilical cord, but also what is so interesting to me is our emotional state also is passed on, and the energy that we are experiencing emotionally is the energy that the baby is created in. So thinking about the foods that we're eating, but also the emotional experiences that we're having. So keeping all of that in mind. And then for those of you that are maybe experiencing some of that anxiousness, the adaptive is a great thing to add in. The adaptive soft gels, the adaptive oil, depending on what you're wanting for that. Copaiba is another resource for that anxiousness. You can take that either internally or you can apply it along the spine, helping out with the central nervous system, but without that THC component or any of those factors. There is also, from a foundational standpoint, the greens, which are great, or the fiber, or the protein powder. So if you're needing a little bit of that, and what I had read during my own journey of pregnancy is if you increase your intake of protein the evening before, it can often subside that nausea sensation. So try it out. All right. So as far as things that we can do to support our body from a oil standpoint during those pregnancy and postpartum stages. Now, keep in mind, there's different ways that we can use oils. We can use them through suppositories. We can use them through sprays. We can use them internally through like a veggie capsule. We can use them by applying topically or within a diffuser. So it just is a matter of what makes the most sense for you and where you're at and what you're wanting, but making sure, keeping in mind that you're adding in some sort of a fractionated coconut oil or a carrier oil just to help with that sensitivity that typically comes along with the skin. So a couple of ideas of things that can help support the pregnancy. Frankincense is a great one. Keep in mind, frankincense is helping with the cellular health, reducing inflammation, helping with the nervous system as well, and keeping the immune system strong. So that's a great one to help out. I mentioned copaiba, digestin, or ginger. Those are both great if you are dealing with some of that indigestion. You can take the soft gels. There's also the DigestZen tablets to help kind of like as a replacement for something like Tums. If you're struggling with allergies or seasonal threats, lemon, lavender, and peppermint, or there's the Tri-Ease blend that's great for that pollen. Some other things to help with, if you're wanting to help out with some of those cravings, you could add in the MetaPower. And then tea tree, if you have any sort of bacterial thing going on and you want to support maybe like a fungus or something like that. All right, what oil do you want to reduce during pregnancy? Clary sage, that's a great one to keep in mind. You want to avoid that until the end of the pregnancy. And then at that point, it will help to support the stimulation of your contraction. So during labor and delivery, you can apply that clary sage right to the ankle area or the lower abdomen to help with that. What if you aren't feeling well? You come down with some sort of a germ and you need some help with that. There's the On Guard Plus soft gels. Those are awesome. You can also do the Flute, frankincense, lemon, On Guard, oregano, tea tree. You can take it in a little veggie capsule or apply it along the spine and use that every few hours to help with getting rid of whatever it is that your body is fighting off. So another idea there. All right, what about things that happen during each of the trimesters? So let's talk about the first trimester specifically. We have in the first trimester, if you're dealing with any sort of breast tenderness, you can apply Clary Calm directly to that area. Constipation, you can increase the lifelong vitality, the greens, DigestZen, lemon, increasing water intake as well. Any sort of a mood thing, keep in mind the lifelong vitality, adaptive, and a citrus. If you're dealing with swelling, any water with a citrus, grapefruit primarily works great. Trying to add in more drops than typical. And then Aroma Touch, ginger, lemon, all great at that targeted area. Just keep in mind that citrus is going to make your skin more sensitive to sunlight. So if you are using that and you're going out in the sun, your skin's already more sensitive because of the pregnancy hormones, plus you're adding in a citrus oil. So just be cautious of that. If you're dealing with a lot of fatigue, Mito 2 Max is great, as well as the Lifelong Vitality, both supplements. Headaches, you can use peppermint, deep blue, serenity, past tense, frankincense, lavender. Indigestion, I already mentioned the DigestZen and ginger. There's also the ginger drops, you can, kind of like a throat drop. Peppermint is a good one. There's also the peppermint enteric coated soft gel, so you could add that in. If you're dealing with muscle cramps, increase your magnesium intake, so adding in more of the bone nutrient, and then deep blue, marjoram, and Aroma Touch. Nausea, mentioned that already. urinary tract issues, increase your water, increase your vitamin C, and then make a capsule of the cassia, oregano, on guard, and thyme. And then you can take that every few hours. And then with the UTI, you can follow that up with PB Assist Junior. Okay, second trimester. Some of the things that can be added in. So for stretch marks, Yarrow Palm Body Serum, Immortelle, lavender, myrrh, and then adding in the MetaPower Advantage for extra collagen. Varicose veins, you can apply lemon, coriander, marjoram, geranium, and helichrysum to the area. And then if you're needing some support with overall blood sugar, incorporating more of the MetaPower line, you can also add in basil, cinnamon, and coriander to help out with that. Third trimester, the final stage. So if the baby is breech, you can apply peppermint and myrrh hip to hip in a rainbow fashion around the belly. If the baby is posterior, apply the same oils and motion from the back of the body forward. If you're retaining fluid, you can increase your protein, increase your water intakes, adding in the citrus oils, and then applying Aroma Touch. If you're wanting to do something for that strep B, you can add a capsule with 4 drops of lemon, tea tree, oregano, On Guard, and take 3 times a day. Preeclampsia, cypress on the bottom of the feet. If you're wanting to do a preventative for tearing, Roman chamomile, geranium, frankincense, sandalwood, and helichrysum, just put that in a spray bottle, spritz it on the area, helping out with that. Hemorrhoids, increasing water intake, geranium, cypress, lavender, helichrysum. Again, you can make it in a spray bottle, spritz it on the area. If you're struggling with sleep, Serenity and Copaiba are wonderful. Bergamot and Balance are great. All right. And then resources that are available. All of that is taken from Stephanie Fritz's book, Essential. She's the Essential Oil Midwife. That's what she's known as. And she has a whole resource guide on essential oils and pregnancy. So go ahead and check that out. Now, labor and delivery, some things that you can keep in your little, I know for me, I had like a little bag to take with me. Geranium is great to reduce pain and increase circulation. You can apply it on the lady bits to help out with tearing as well. Basil and black pepper are great to apply to the lower back, as well as turmeric and copaiba to help out with pain. And then lavender is great to stimulate circulation, create a calming experience. For stress, it really is going to depend on what you're gravitating towards. I brought a diffuser right into my the hospital where I delivered. They're typically pretty okay with you having a diffuser going. I found that the constant fragrance of just like it was extra stimulation. So I found that a diffuser was too much, but I enjoyed it just on my skin as a kind of intermediate, being able to smell it rather than that constant. So just listen to your body and whatever it's feeling. But for stress, Balance, Serenity, lavender, maybe wild orange, citrus bliss, adaptive, peppermint, whatever you're feeling. For contractions, I mentioned in the beginning, but clary sage is a great one to increase effectiveness. Myrrh is a great one to increase intensity, and then just apply it to your ankles or your abdomen. If you're wanting to avoid hemorrhaging, helichrysum is a great one to get the blood kind of slowing itself down a little bit. Blood pressure, ylang-ylang and lavender and bath water. You can also do geranium, lemongrass, and lavender combined with fractionated coconut oil and apply it to the reflex points on the feet. All right, postpartum. If you're having trouble with urination, you can put a couple of drops of peppermint in the toilet bowl. That'll help with stimulating that. If you're needing a spray on the lady bits, again, fractionated coconut oil and Immortelle are great. You can also use that same spray on a circumcision repair. You can also, lavender, tea tree, and frankincense work great. And actually, if you take a pad and you soak it in like witch hazel with a or fractionated coconut oil with the tea tree, the lavender, and the frankincense, put it in the freezer And then that way, when you are needing that cold compress, you're getting the benefits of the oils as well with that. If you're needing some help with scar tissue, lavender, rose, frankincense, yarrow palm, helichrysum, geranium, myrrh, all of those work great. I found DDR Prime to work well. Even if you're struggling with some of that scar tissue from stitches internally, that can help out as well. Just make sure that you dilute it with fractionated coconut oil. And then if you're wanting some help with hormonal balance, remember the lifelong vitality and the phytoestrogen are two big supplements that really help out with the body recalibrating. Adaptive is another great one. Clary Sage or Clary Calm to help with the hormones. If you're dealing with some of those emotions that come oftentimes in that postpartum phase, something like citrus bliss or lemon, lavender, frankincense, clary sage, geranium, grapefruit, bergamot, balance, myrrh, wild orange, any of those oils, just apply on the bottoms of the feet. Remembering with oils, it's about consistency. And so if you can keep them on the bottoms of the feet and keep them in the diffuser, applying them to the abdomen, wherever you can get them on your body, just remembering that those are going to support that. Chiropractic visits for you and the baby also can help with the body recalibrating. And so adding that aspect in. All right. And then nursing. Let's go into that if you're struggling. Now, one thing that I do want to mention, and this is something that came both from my own personal experience with my children, but also as a speech language pathologist. If you have a child that's having difficulty with latching, have them checked for a posterior tongue tie or an anterior tongue tie and a lip tie, because oftentimes if there is something anchoring the tongue or the lip in, it will create a shallow latch, and it can be linked to cracked nipples, painful. The baby can suck in more air, and so then you're dealing with more colic. And for us, we had to go through 3 different pediatricians to find a pediatrician that was aware of what to look for with a tongue and a lip tie. So keep that in mind as well. We actually bypassed and went directly to a person that like a pediatric dentist that specialized in tongue and lip ties. And so if you're needing to do that, just you can reach out to one. There is Dr. Kotlow is who we used. He's based out of Albany. He was very knowledgeable in the area, but I just wanted to share that because oftentimes, moms go through nipple shields and all of these things, and it's linked to a tongue and a lip tie that can be modified. So keep that in mind with nursing. What can you do to stimulate the milk? Lifelong vitality, again, is great. Fennel or basil, either internally or on the breast, just kind of staying away from the nipple area so the baby's not getting that. But you can nurse and then apply it right after nursing. So your body is going to get the benefits, but it's not super strong when the baby's ready to nurse. With fennel, you want to keep it to about 10 days at a time. Copaiba is another one that's great. You can take that internally and that'll stimulate the milk. If you need to decrease your milk supply, peppermint is a great one. So keep in mind, you want to monitor how much you're using peppermint when you're in that nursing phase just to help out with that. If you're dealing with clogged ducts or mastitis, you can eliminate dairy. That can sometimes help. Increase your vitamin C. That can sometimes help, but you can apply citrus bliss and lavender and on the breast themselves with adding that into a warm shower and just massage downwards on the breast. That can help to kind of move that through. And then if you are dealing with dry or cracked nipples, lavender and fractionated coconut oil can help out with that as well. Couple of things just for the newborn phase. When the baby is initially born, you can apply frankincense, myrrh, balance, add them in with fractionated coconut oil, super diluted, but that will help the baby to recalibrate and get into a state of homeostasis. It's a lot for the baby to come through the birth canal. So that's a great way to support that. Other things, just in wrapping up, keep in mind there is the symphony of the cells and the aroma touch technique. With the symphony of the cells, there's a protocol specifically for hormone balance. There's also a protocol specifically for mood. So if you're needing that additional support, you can check that out. The book itself is available on symphonyofthecells.com. All right, let me just go through my notes. And see if there is anything else that I want to add. Another recommended reading, The Essential Oil Hormone Solution by Dr. Marisa Snyder. That's a great resource that brings in some additional supports for hormones if you're needing that. And I think that's it. I know I spewed a whole bunch of information today, but I had a lot that I wanted to share. And so I wanted to go through each of those trimesters. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out you can connect with me on Instagram, Your Life Fuel. You can also connect with me on through email, katrina@yourlifefuel.com. And then the last way that you can connect with me is on my website, www.yourlifefuel.com. All right, that's it for today. Have a great Wednesday, everybody.